Finally, when I got work, it's also different. As I said, each studio is different, the address is different, the people are different. You don't know what to expect for lunch. You just don't know when you're going to be done. Some photographers are fast, some are super slow. Some take 28 million Polaroids before they start with the real film. Others don't take a Polaroid at all, and it's like, that's it, we did it? And they're like, yeah, go. So you had to learn each day that something was new, right? So there's this battle within of how do you handle new people and new faces and what is expected of me. So I had to learn to read a room because I wanted to give the client, and you kind of had to figure out who the client was. Sometimes there were 30 people in a room and you're like, okay, who's the boss? So who do you defer to if you had questions or were trying to figure out what they were looking for? So models have agencies, and agencies are supposed to protect you and get you jobs. So when I went to New York already signed with an agency. But sometimes their goals, I learned, were different than mine. So I learned that the agency will work with clients way after I've left. So even though they're protecting me as a model, they still don't want to make the client angry because they've got to work with them 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the road when I'm no longer there. So I remember one year, I think it was in the first couple years that I was working, I got pulled into the agency and they're like, hey, how would you like to go away for the weekend? And I'm like, what? They're like, I won't say his name, but he was a very famous musician. And they're like, how would you like to jump on his jet, go down to Mexico, he's got a private villa, and just hang out? And I'm like, okay, his jet, his country, his house, no, right? I don't know how many young girls would say yes. I wasn't trained, my mother didn't train me. How are you supposed to train and tell someone that you can say no to things like that? And your agency that's protecting you is asking you if you want to go. So sometimes, for me that was a quick no, but I think a lot of girls got stuck feeling like they needed to please their agent, and I thought about it, and I'm like, I could have still been down there. I could have been stuck in some, wherever that was, right? Bad. Sometimes we would go to other countries. So if it was the middle of the winter in New York City, we would go on trips down to the islands. And I remember there was this battle in my mind of trying to please the client, but also getting enough sleep and not going out and partying and staying out late and enjoying myself because I'm the one who had to get up early and look good. So these are things like at 18, 19, 20, you kind of have to figure out. So at about 27, after I'd been working a while, I'd already had a Revlon contract. I remember I was looking towards the future, and I'm trying to think, okay, I'm getting older. 27 is old, right? So I'm getting older. I'm like, I need to find an agency and kind of expand. And I didn't have any dreams of doing big things. So I was talking to William Morris, and they said, well, we want to sign you, and we'd like you to go meet with Good Morning America. I said, okay. So I met with a woman, a top executive at Good Morning America, and she was sitting down interviewing me. We talked for an hour, and it was great. And she says, so, how would you like to work with us? I said, well, sure, that'd be great. And so she said, okay, you're live tomorrow morning at 7:43. And I thought, okay. So luckily I had parents that told me I could do anything I put my mind to. And the next morning, I remember just being so petrified, watching the red light come on, and this is live TV, piped to millions of homes. And the more you worry about being stupid on camera and being nervous about it, the worse things are, right? So how do you get to that point where you're like, hey, it's just live TV, it's no big deal, I can do what I want, it's just a red light.